Y'all want to see Canelo lose so bad. It won't happen though. And all that talk about cherry picking, and you're probably a Floyd fan. So you can see right here, these are code words. I made a video about Canelo and Beterbiev, and the code words come in. You're probably a Floyd fan. Just biased and hypocritical. Stop doing takes from the heart and do them from the brain. You sound like you lack knowledge in the sport. Well, after Artur Beterbiev picks up his 18th knockout in a row, what do the Canelo Alvarez man fans have to say? What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Bruh, this guy is the biggest hater on Mexicans for real. Even though the video I did 6 months ago where you see these comments were about Canelo versus Beterbiev, Canelo is different. So these were the irrational Canelo fans. Canelo was cleared and this guy instigates and says blah, blah, blah. Canelo wasn't cleared of failing a drug test. No matter what Canelo does, he is still going to receive hate. It's like Mayweather all over again. These were the troubled Canelo fans in the comment section when I made a video days after Artur Beterbiev beat Marcus Brown, a US Olympian. And fast forward to the future, we just watched Artur Beterbiev do what he's been doing, continue to knock guys out and create so many problems with his boxing ability, his toughness, and his power, of course. And I believe, like you guys see in the title, that Canelo is in a very, and I repeat, very difficult position. I think the Canelo era is over, if I'm being honest, and I'll explain in this video why I believe that. So for starters, let me take you through the Beterbiev fight. Beterbiev fought a massive puncher in Joe Smith Jr. who looked to be bigger than him, but the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Joe Smith Jr. was no match for Beterbiev. In the first round, Beterbiev landed the cleaner shots and he was hurting Joe Smith Jr., but Joe Smith Jr. was trying to work behind the jab. But I think those big impactful shots from Beterbiev and the torque he puts on them, it kind of got Joe Smith Jr. out of his game plan. And then he just resorted to true form, which was to kind of try to slug it out, which spelled his ultimate, downfall in this fight. And with about 10 seconds to go in the first round, Beterbiev caught him and bow, Joe Smith Jr., his leg buckled. So that was the first sign of danger. And me as an observer, and I like Joe Smith Jr. for the record, if you guys watch my videos, you'll know that. I was like, this is going to spell trouble because Beterbiev is the best or one of the best finishers in the boxing. You got to put Gervonta Davis and Wilder and Beterbiev in that category. Jerron Boots Ennis of the young up-and-comers. And these guys are just great finishers. Jermell Charlo, when they get you hurt, they smell blood and they go for it. Beterbiev is no different. And at the end of the day, that's really what it was. He pounced on him, and round two was more or less the same, if not worse than the first round. And he was all over Joe Smith Jr. And that's what you're supposed to do. Be smart, be intelligent, break your opponent down. You got the power. Don't play with your food. Joe Smith Jr. has knockout power. He got heart, and you don't want to allow him to recover. So Artur Beterbiev made it a one-sided beatdown and a short night. 2 rounds. All the people went out for that, and it was a short night. Now, I've said the same things on my channel, and that's the brilliance of what I do here. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I looked at my YouTube analytics, and it showed me in the last 30 days, 50% of the people that watch my content subscribed, the other 50% did not. Boxing news, boxing 101, boxing 24/7, all access, your access now granted. I'm giving you everything you want. So make sure you guys subscribe. Said the same things about Artur Beterbiev, talented fighter. He's not just a puncher. Like when I think of a Russian fighter, like let's say Ruslan Provodnikov, and then I think of Beterbiev, completely different execution, albeit they both have power. It's the skill set that separates Beterbiev. He's not just, oh, I got power and that's the one way to get it done. And seemingly he looks like he can box, good enough, and he has power. It looks like he's willing to dig down deep. and he got dropped in fights before. It got back up and then stopped those guys. Henceforth, the 100% knockout ratio, which nobody else at an elite level, champion level with unifications and stuff has that. You know, Errol Spence is a great fighter. He's unified, but he couldn't stop Sean Porter, but he stopped Ugas. And that's typically how it works at the elite level. So it just shows me that Beterbiev has cracks. Now, I opened up, and I told you guys you got to stick around to the whole video. I opened up with the Canelo comments from a video after Beterbiev had beat Marcus Brown. And those comments were from irate Canelo fans. And the opening comment that I read, he says, Canelo, you want to see him lose. Y'all want to see him. Again, code words, y'all. Who is y'all? But it won't happen. Ironically enough, 6 months later, Canelo does lose to a Dimitri Bivol at light heavyweight. So therefore, I do think Canelo is in the worst position he's ever been. For one, I think DAZN is or will grow tired of fronting the bill and paying these illustrious paydays without getting the ROI attached to it in big events. Meanwhile, you're seeing guys like Errol Spence. He could fight Crawford, huge fight. You're seeing guys like Gervonta Davis bring 18, 19,000 people in New York, and he's doing good business. And these guys are putting on great events on PBC, and they're not getting, you know, $50 million with no pay-per-view, you know, for a while for Canelo fights. So the business makes more sense. So one, DAZN, at some point, they're going to want to try to make profit or they're going to be forced out of the game. Two, so to make profit, you have to make more dangerous fights. There's only certain fights that Canelo could even fight on DAZN that are that. He bypassed the Showtime deal to fight Errol Spence or Charlo, David Benavidez. And then now, you know, he's just surrounded by tough fights. His mandatories, for the most part, or fights that he should fight at 168 are the likes of David Benavidez, mandatory David Morrell Jr. They're both undefeated, looking sensational. Another undefeated guy from Houston that could move up, and that's Jermall Charlo. Another undefeated fighter that's been on DAZN and Canelo still hasn't fought him. Could have fought at 54, 60, and now 68, and that's Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. And then you look up at 175, one guy, Dimitri Bivol, just beat you and dominated you. And then the other guy, Beterbiev, looks like he's wrecking everything. So I stand on what I've been saying. I think Bivol and Beterbiev are the top guys at 175 currently. And notice, you know, Canelo's going to be in a tough spot because do you go up and fight Bivol again? He obviously didn't want to do the immediate rematch because 2 losses in a row, like Eddie Hearn said, would be catastrophic. So Beterbiev said post-fight he wants to unify with Bivol more than anything. So if that happens and Beterbiev and Bivol unify, then that means Bivol will lose his belt if he loses to Beterbiev, and Beterbiev will be undisputed. And then that means for undisputed, Canelo would have to probably look towards the winner, right? Or if Bivol beats Beterbiev, Bivol already beat Canelo. So imagine his confidence if Bivol beats Beterbiev too. He's going to be over the moon. So I don't know what Canelo does. He can't really go back down to 160. His team already said that. 168, you're surrounded by Morales, Benavidez, soon to be Andrade, and Charlo. And then light heavyweight, you're surrounded by Beterbiev, who's a monster, and Bivol, who already beat you. And then they may fight each other. So it's like, what is Canelo going to do to create excitement and fights that make sense? All that talk about cruiserweight and heavyweight, who wants to see that if their Canelo fans are complaining and saying that Bivol was way too big for him? So, you know, Canelo's time and options are very limited. Plus, he looks like he's more into golfing than his whole career right now. So, you know, I stand by what I've said. I think Beterbiev beats Canelo. I think he's just too big and too strong. But you guys were telling me something else. And like Roy Jones said, y'all must have forgot. So here we are. Let me know who wins. I have a poll up. Make sure you vote. Beterbiev versus Canelo. I will not let you guys forget. You guys say I'm wrong when I say it in real time. Fast forward to the future. You said Canelo wouldn't lose, and he lost. So what do you think about Beterbiev and Canelo now? Boom. Subscribe. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.